Would you be the bad guy for protecting your baby from a toxic mother-in-law, even if her husband is dying? That's the impossible choice one woman had to make. Between grief, guilt, and boundaries, this story shows just how far family drama can go when love collides with disrespect. The story starts with a young couple living in the U.S., a woman, her partner, and their little baby boy. Life should have been peaceful, but one message changed everything. Her partner's father was sick, really sick. They didn't know how much time he had left, so they planned a trip to Canada to visit him one last time. It should have been a chance to come together as a family, but instead it stirred up every bit of buried tension between her and her mother-in-law. You see, this wasn't the first time boundaries had been crossed. Not even close. When the woman gave birth last summer, she did what most new moms do. She set some basic, reasonable rules to protect her newborn. Nothing crazy, just please wash your hands before holding him, and no kissing. Simple, right? But when her partner's parents flew down to meet their new grandson, things took a turn. Instead of respecting those boundaries, they laughed. They joked about how things have changed since COVID, even though her rules had nothing to do with the pandemic. And then it happened. Despite being told not to, her mother-in-law leaned in and kissed the baby multiple times. Right in front of her, her heart dropped. That mix of anger and helplessness hit like a wave. Watching someone ignore your boundaries while pretending it's harmless. Her partner tried to back her up most of the time, but not always. And that not always part hurt more than she wanted to admit. The final straw of that visit came at a family dinner. They were all out at a restaurant, trying to have one nice night before his parents flew home. When her partner and his dad got up to pay the bill, her mother-in-law turned to her. And that's when the real side came out. She started talking badly about her own son, mocking him, dredging up old stories from when he was little, and then casually calling him crazy, just like that. The new mom sat there stunned. This woman, who should be loving and supportive, was instead insulting her own child. And to make it worse, she'd done similar things before. When they were alone, she'd gossip about her husband, make inappropriate comments, and one time, unbelievably, even smacked her daughter-in-law on the butt. Yes, you heard that right. Smacked her, out of nowhere. At that point, the mom had just given birth and was emotionally raw, protective of her baby and her partner. She left that dinner fuming, holding in words she knew she couldn't take back if she said them. Months passed. She tried to move on, but that anger never really went away. So finally, she decided to reach out. She messaged her mother-in-law directly, calm, respectful, and honest. She explained that what happened had hurt her deeply. The disregard for her rules, the insults, the inappropriate behavior. But instead of apologizing or even acknowledging the message, her mother-in-law took the coward's route. She ignored the private message completely, and then responded publicly in their family group chat. There, she claimed she never called her son crazy, implying the daughter-in-law was lying. No accountability, no empathy, just manipulation. Imagine how humiliating that must be felt, being painted as the troublemaker for simply standing up for yourself. Now, months later, the couple is planning to fly to Canada. Her father-in-law's health is failing, and this might be their last chance to see him. But the woman can't shake the dread. The thought of seeing her mother-in-law again makes her stomach turn. This time she wants things to be different. No more disrespect, no more boundary breaking. She's decided if they visit, her son will not be kissed at all. In fact, she doesn't even feel comfortable letting her mother-in-law hold him, and she refuses to be left alone in the same room with her. She knows her partner won't like it. He loves his family, he's grieving, and to him this trip feels like closure. But for her, it feels like walking back into a lion's den. Then comes the detail that sends the internet into a spiral. It turns out her mother-in-law isn't just emotionally toxic, she's physically unsanitary too. When she stayed with them before, she never washed her hands after using the bathroom. And once, unbelievably, she peed in their front yard. Why? Because her husband was hogging the toilet for too long. You can't make this stuff up. Now, imagine being a new mom, worried about germs, illness, and your baby as health, and knowing this is the kind of person who'll want to touch your child again. No wonder she's hesitant. Still, she's torn. Her father-in-law is dying. Her partner needs to see his dad, and deep down she doesn't want to ruin that for him. But she also can't ignore her instincts. She knows what happened last time. She knows how easily her mother-in-law crosses the line with no remorse. She's even worried about her own reaction. What if her mother-in-law says something rude again? What if she touches her inappropriately one more time? Would she be able to hold it together? That's why she's decided to talk it through with their therapist before the trip. She doesn't want to blow things up. She just wants to protect herself and her baby. This story goes beyond just one mother-in-law. It's about something bigger, boundaries. We grow up thinking family automatically means respect. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes people hide behind that word to justify bad behavior. And when you start setting limits, suddenly you become the problem. What's ironic here is that the woman isn't trying to control anyone. She's not being cruel. She's just asking for basic decency. Wash your hands, respect my rules. Don't insult your son. Don't touch me inappropriately. Yet for her mother-in-law, those requests seem too much, as if basic respect is optional. So now she's left wondering, if she refuses to let her meal hold or kiss her baby during this trip, is she being overprotective? Or is she finally standing her ground after being disrespected too many times? Her therapist will help her prepare, but the real question remains. Would you still go on that trip? Would you risk the stress and emotional chaos just to say goodbye to someone, even if it means facing the person who's caused you the most pain? At the end of the day, boundaries don't make you cruel. They make you sane. Sometimes protecting your peace and your child means saying no even when it hurts. So AITA for wanting to set rules before visiting the in-laws? Or am I just the only one willing to admit that love shouldn't mean tolerating disrespect?